I think the ultimately most important thing that you can do is just start working at something, no matter how silly it seems. I think that this is the lesson that I've learned repeatedly, because it always feels silly. It always feels rinky-dinky. Nothing ever feels like the way that you think it should feel or that it's shown on the movies. It's just getting up and doing the same thing every day and pursuing that particular thing, no matter what it actually feels like. I think it's kind of, it's ironic that I think most people think that something is going to become big right at the get-go, and that sort of dream that something is going to become big is what actually holds almost everybody back. And they never pursue something because they think it's stupid, or somebody gives them like kind of a sideways look. And, all of those people that give you that sideways look, they completely don't know that that's how everything starts. It starts out just kind of silly, to be honest. And you're the one lone nut dancing in the corner. I often think about that. There's this great YouTube video of this, how do you start a movement? And it's just basically this lone nut that's dancing. And then eventually at the end of the video, everybody is dancing. And, that's where you have to sort of view things, is that nothing ever feels like the way that you think it's actually going to feel at the beginning, the sort of bravery story or whatever. It's just rinky-dinky. It's little. It never really looks like a heck of a lot. But, what happens is people just start. And they just keep working at it. And chiseling away at something. And you just kind of forget about the rest of the world. And I think that's the important lesson. Is you just got to forget about what other people are sort of thinking about you, or you're thinking about yourself, and just start one day at a time, not really paying attention, enjoying the process as it is, and just repeating over and over again. And I think that's an important lesson that we all need to think about. What you'll soon realize as you're doing this is that there's a lot of people that are full of hot air, and you just simply have to keep doing the same thing, whether people look at you with a sideways look or not. You really just have to figure out how you fit within the greater domain. And I think the only way that you're going to figure out how you fit, it's what's called product market fit within the sort of commercialization side. And really what you're thinking about is, how do you actually find an audience? What does that look like? And the audience that you begin with is far different than what you think it is. And the audience is often not the people that you think that the audience would be. And I think that's the only way that you sort of figure things out, is that you just start and you keep going and you don't stop with it. You would be surprised on how things change and the sort of evolution or the trajectory of the process goes. And that there is not really, you can't really forecast it. You can't really sort of see where it's going to go. But ultimately, the only way that you make things happen is you just start with it. And you putter around. You actually get involved in things without thinking that there is some sort of big potentiality from it. Now, there might be a lot of opportunities. There might be some really cool things that result of it. But ultimately, you don't know what that's going to be at the beginning. And so you have to often just start with things not knowing. It's like the image that I think about. It's like when you have a baby for the first time, or, it's like this idea of jumping off a cliff, and you do that for the first time. You don't know what's going to happen, and then you plunge in the water, and you sort of feel what it actually feels like to plunge in the water. And I think that's largely what you have to do, is just start. You can't really wait to build something or have something miraculous, because it doesn't happen like that. It's just sort of slow, steady progress of doing things that you think are, most people think, almost everybody thinks are below them. And you just do it no matter what you're feeling, and you keep taking those steps every day. And I think that's a key thing, is remembering that the only way that you actually do anything is you do things that are rinky-dinky, that everybody else is below you, and you keep taking those steps no matter what.